of our Patreon support, and we very much appreciate him. Also, you may know him if you have met him in online gaming as Generally Accepted, but he's great, and we thank him very much. He was
Thanks,
the very
Evan.
first. Next up, we got Mr. Jake, aka Paco Steele, brother to Mr. Evan Steele. Next up, we've got Mr. Ryland Aller, who has spent lifetimes playing Destiny. Mr. Andrew Complin brings us very thoughtful and awesome promotions each and every single week, and we very much appreciate that. Last, but certainly not least, Cecilia Choi, soon to be Owens.
Whoa.
My.
Whoa, huh?
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Cool.
Everything's feeling super official now. We just posted a save the date on Facebook.
Yeah.
Saw that.
No going back.
No going back. We set a date.
Is that one of many engagement pictures, or is that just a picture? Have you taken engagement pictures yet?
Oh yeah, that was one of the pictures we got back from our shoot.
Great picture, by the way.
Thank you. We were pretty happy with the photographer. We were able to find a photographer pretty quickly, and so we got the engagement shoot done. She's actually that company is actually the one that's going to do our wedding too.
Cool.
But yeah, she was really cool. And we just went out and had we just goofed off and had fun, and she took pictures of it.
That's awesome.
And so it was great. It was I was kind of dreading it because I'm not good at taking pictures. I hate taking pictures. I don't know how to smile for pictures.
Yeah.
And it was pretty easy. We just went out and had fun, and she took pictures, and then it was over. So
awesome.
No big deal.
Cool.
It was great.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Well, those are our patrons, and to you we say thanks, and thank you, Josh, for reading that list.
You're welcome.
Let's move
Patreon.com/SouthDakotaGamer
to the link first, and then we'll move into the new releases for this week. And Dave, I'll have you read the new releases as soon as we tell you that they have been brought to us by Andrew Complin and Glass.
Glass is great. You know what? I'm drinking out of a glass right now.
Glass.
A glass.
Yep.
I was going down the interstate at 80 miles per hour, and the only thing separating me from cold, chilly wind in Minneapolis, Minnesota was glass.
Uh-huh.
It's a Cubs glass.
Wow.
Hey, also a shout out to Tempered or whatever extremely strong glass that is in the glass sky bridge in China or Japan or whatever that keeps people from dying by falling to their deaths.
Good. Yeah.
Have you seen that video where it's people are being dragged onto it because they're terrified to go over it?
Yeah, it's great friends those people have.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Grown people are freaking out like cats trying not to go into a bathtub. Right? And some feet spread everywhere.
I heard a thing one time about glass.
Yeah.
So if you find a house with super old glass panes in the windows, they used to do, it would have to be an older, a really old glass, a really old house with original wooden,
almost plate glass,
with original window panes in it, or even the small square ones. I don't know if this is true, but I heard that back then they didn't have the technology to temper glass and make it as well as they do today, and so glass back then was kind of a solid, but also sort of a liquid, but it just flows much more slowly. So if you look at like an old house with like those old original window panes, it'll seem like it'll be like slightly thicker at the bottom than it is at the top, because it's actually like flowing downward at a very, 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 very slow pace.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's 100% true, but if you look at old houses with those like original glass panes, they do look all ripply. So I don't know. Could be true.
That is very true.
And in Minecraft, if you put sand in your oven, you can make glass.
And that's exactly how it works.
True.
That's totally how it's done.
You can make glass blocks or just the glass that like is plate glass.
Yeah.
All you gotta do,
look at it from above it or below, it looks weird, like a cross.
You just gotta put sand in the oven.
Yep. And then you can have glass.
Pull it out,
you've got a perfectly
also
formed
have to
block.
put coal or flint or some type of burning
Some type of burning.
mineral.
Gotta have some type of burning.
Yeah, because I mean it doesn't get hot.
No.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You
can't
know,
just
one
put it in
thing
the oven.
I've
You
always
gotta burn
wanted to
something.
do that I've never got to do is blow glass.
That would be cool.
I've seen that like on like probably Mr. Rogers or something when I was a kid.
Mike
Like, this
Mike
is how
Rowe
they
did an
do that.
episode about a glass factory, and it looks very interesting.
It is insane how they do that.
Yeah,
Like literally like they're blowing up a balloon, but it's
yeah.
molten glass.
Yep.
I'd hate to get
And
that
then
on me.
like the old, like the left, anything that breaks or any leftovers, like they sweep it up and they put it into a bin and they just remelt it and they
Mhm.
just use it again. Like
No
it's
waste.
Josh,
it's really really cool. It's really interesting.
I think you and I should talk about glass for like another 2 hours.
Totally,
So
let's
Chad
do it,
can't
man.
go
It's
to game
sponsored.
night and play COD.
I mean, it's sponsored, so
Glass is great, and
It is.
it's crazy that it's transparent and solid, and we use it for so many
You
many
can
things.
stain it and make stained glass.
Yeah,
huh?
you can make mosaics.
Uh-huh.
Yep,
You can kill someone with it.
you totally can kill somebody with it.
Hey,
If you're a
You shouldn't.
sorcerer, you can make like shadow,
You can.
weird mystic glass out of thin air and kill people with it.
Oh,
I almost
I
forgot.
know what you're saying.
Yeah,
And
I
yes.
almost forgot this shout out. I said I would, but a shout out to Samuel L. Jackson, the
Oh,
glass man.
because they
from
call him
Oh.
Mr. Glass.
there it is.
Yes, Josh's reference to Doctor Strange, which we won't spoil.
I'm seeing that tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, so
Actually,
good.
as the day, today, this podcast
Yes,
day, I'll be.
Yes.
I'm going to see that Mall of America. Actually,
Josh,
Oh, cool.
did you see it in 3D or 2D?
No, I just saw it in 2D.
I have
gonna
the
s-
option to see it in 3D. I imagine that's probably how I should see it.
You should
Yes.
you should do that. Yeah, you should
3D
do that.
is the way to go.
You've seen it in 3D?
Yes.
Okay. See, this theater at the Mall of America has like several different options. There's 3D, which I'll go to then for especially for this movie. But then they also have the standard. Then they also have what they call like big box or D box, which I imagine might be a big digital.
D in a box. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen
But they
that
also
one.
have one that's 21 plus, which at first I thought, well, maybe they, some theaters serve
Oh,
beer and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
but
yeah.
then you have to have an ID regardless. So I think, is this possible? Like they actually will show screenings of some movies where kids can't see it in case you're like an adult that doesn't want yelling kids or
I
whatever.
don't know.
I don't
Possibly.
know, but that would be genius if they
Is it
would do that.
is it one of the
literally-
ones where
it's-
there's
It's literally a set of its own screen times and it says 21 plus.
I wonder
But
if
this is
if it's the
It's
one
not
where they
like-
serve you food and stuff, like it's
maybe it's served during the
right,
movie.
where it's like
okay.
a dine-in movie experience. I've heard of those.
If
That's
if a
possible.
movie theater set aside like 3 screens or just a whole movie theater and they were like no kids,
Mm.
nobody under 21, oh my gosh, I would go there. I would pay whatever the extra. That would be amazing.
And they still showed Pixar movies, just no
oh,
kids
totally.
allowed.
Yeah, like any
Oh, yeah.
movie that were coming out, just no kids.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be so great.
Because also getting rid of the kids also gets rid of the parents that don't give a crap to be there,
Right.
but they're there because their kids are there and
Yeah.
they don't really care about anyone else around them or whatever. There's no excitement, blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
It fine tunes the audience.
That would
Yeah.
be so cool.
Huh. Interesting.
Anyway, Glass is awesome.
Glass is good and new releases are good. Dave, tell us our new releases for this coming week.
All right, November 8th coming out for the PlayStation VR is Eagle Flight. We've seen. I think this is Ubisoft, right? That did this. I think this is considered their first full PlayStation VR game, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe.
And it's the one where basically you're an eagle and it's like a race capture the flag type game. You got to capture something and take it to
Uh-huh.
a base or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And you're flying over a city. I think the one they showed was Paris. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah. it does.
That's coming out on the 8th, which will be today as we are podcasting. On the 11th, which I'm very excited about, is Dishonored 2 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.
I need to jump in. I need to jump back in to Dishonored. I've jumped in probably 3 times, and then I get so far, and then I for some reason I fall out of it, and then I don't remember where I was. So then I restart,
Yeah.
And it's totally a game that I would like. I love the art style. I like the idea of it and like the mechanics and gameplay and stuff like that. I've just never been able to like.
It's very
push past
reminiscent
the first part of the
of
game.
BioShock. It's
Yeah.
it's similar to BioShock in its style. The style is a little bit different, but the style is also more similar than a realistic game
Yeah.
is. And the gameplay mechanics are. But yes, if you're like one of those people that loves stealth and like
Yeah.
the magic elements and stuff, like it's really cool. I played through it, I think 2 or 3 times. I bought the remastered they did when it came out on my Xbox One. I can't remember when that came out for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But that was right before I moved to PlayStation 4, and I haven't done a whole lot on my Xbox
Yeah.
since then because I've been, trophy crazy and everything.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm excited
Lot-
to get it. Hopefully they'll discount the first one again. Maybe I'll get that on my PlayStation so I can get
Yeah.
trophies on the first.
That's what I bought. I bought the remastered, like the whatever edition on the PS4.
Corvo something. I think it had Corvo's name in the special edition or something. But
Yeah,
in this
maybe.
one, you can play as either Corvo or is it Elizabeth? Is that the name of the girl?
Yep.
Who is now the queen or whatever? She was the daughter in the first movie or game.
Right.
So her and Corvo have a somewhat of a not a love relationship, but a friend. He's kind of her overseer, protector relationship. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Also, on November 11th. Oh, did you have something to say, Chad?
No, I was just gonna say that
Or
that
Josh?
live action trailer was super cool.
It
Oh, yeah.
looks really great.
I
Yeah,
need to look at that again. I don't think I saw that one.
it's pretty good.
Also on the 11th is for Xbox One and PS4 is Assassin's Creed: The Ezio Collection, which also I would think is definitely worth getting. I mean, those. What's in it? The first one, the second one, and Brotherhood.
Two Brotherhood and Revelations, I believe.
Oh, they didn't put the first one, so it's basically
because the
just
first one
Ezio's
was
story.
Altair, right?
Yeah, the
Hence-
original wasn't Ezio.
Hence the Ezio
Yeah,
collection.
I guess I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, it's still good. Those are still good games. Especially
It's all the
man.
Assassin's Creed from this
So
year
good.
too. I mean, no new Assassin's Creed this year.
And then also the big, I guess, PlayStation thing, November 11th, PS4 Pro. Yeah.
That's exactly what everybody's going to be saying once
It's a
it's in
big
stores. Oh, there's that
PlayStation
PlayStation thing.
Yeah.
I don't really know
There's
what the
a
difference
poss-
is.
There's a possibility I may get this.
Really
And this
like
is
an
only,
upgrade.
only because I'm thinking about getting my son a PlayStation 4, and I'll just give him mine.
Oh, there you go.
But here's the thing: what's the difference in price between the Pro and the standard now?
I want to say, yeah, isn't it $4.99?
I think it's $4.99.
Yeah, I can't remember. Can't you get the new one for like $249 now, or is it still $299?
I think it's $2.99. I mean, they've done didn't they do the slim? What's the slim version?
Well, that's what I mean.
That's the new
standard
one.
one
That's
now
true.
going forward.
That's true.
So maybe there'll be a Black Friday thing. I'll have to keep my eyes.
I'm
out
sure
on
there'll
that.
be something for Black Friday, but
I did see that there's going to be a Black Friday. I just saw it today. Black Friday, the new 3DS
$99
is going to be $99.
I know, I saw
Yeah.
that. That's kind of a good deal.
Really cool. So that's what is slated for coming out this week, guys.
Excellent.
If you want to go get that,
Thank you,
do it.
Dave. That'll bring us into what we've been playing lately. And this segment's brought to us by Ryland Dollar and his sister's company, Zarya & Co. You can go check them out over on Facebook or Instagram. It's XARIA_CO. And she makes clothes for little girls. They're real cute. They're adorable. If you got little girls, it'll look real good on them. So head on over there and like that Facebook page or follow her on Instagram to see what she does. So what have we been playing lately? Josh, start us off.
I'd be happy to. Playing the Rocket League, obviously. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture was one of the PS Plus games this month, and so I jumped into it just super briefly. I was right at the beginning. You walk past a weird like outpost type building. There's a radio on in there and a computer, and I was messing around with that stuff and walked a little further, and then had to quit because we were going to a concert. And I also played through Until Dawn
Oh,
Sweet.
this past week.
how many
So-
did you keep alive?
3. The three
More
that
than
were
I did.
alive at the end of my playthrough were Ashley, the chick with the beanie, Emily, the bratty Asian chick, and Hayden Panettiere's character. Why do I always forget her name? Sam. So three out of the, what were there, six,
I can't remember.
seven?
It's been a while since I played it.
I saved all but 2 in mine. But
And
it was because I
one-
went back.
One of the deaths, Mike, was a dumb mistake. I had him all the way up until the end, and I made a dumb mistake.
Oh, so was it?
Um,
Did he burn up?
Yeah.
That's how he
I went
on
too
mine.
fast. I was expecting him, like, if I ran, I was expecting him to see me run and run with me.
Right.
And he
right.
didn't. He was still in there, and so the house blew up and he burned.
Isn't that end sequence like pretty intense though?
Yeah, that was really intense. Like, that's why I just ran. I just wanted it to be over. So I just ran. I stopped hiding and just ran. But so it's a really good game. I really, really enjoyed it. It hit all the really, really good like mystery horror beats that I was looking for. I'm going to play through it again because I want to see where I can change the narrative and save different people. But here's a thing. So I texted you guys earlier this week, and I was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting this game. It's on sale to play through it with Cecilia."
She couldn't.
And
couldn't do it.
If I recall correctly, my text message said something like she doesn't really like horror. She even has a hard time watching Prison Break sometimes.
Yeah.
Could she handle this game? And also, if I recall correctly, you guys were like, it's like teenage horror, some mild gore, and jump scares. Maybe
Well,
she can handle it.
I was a little bit more in the I'm not sure category. Chad seemed to think if I can handle it,
I
she
was
can.
saying, my thought was, look, I don't like horror at all, and I wasn't scared.
So she didn't last till the end of the first chapter.
Oh my!
She was done. I'm going to tell you when she was done. She was done when that little thing popped out of the sink when Chris was going to get the spray deodorant.
Oh
To the lock. That's at the very. Oh no, I guess that's the second chapter.
Yeah,
That's
but
like the very beginning of the game.
That's not even that. Yeah.
That was the moment when she was like,
Nope.
nope, no more of this." Also, I should say, not mild gore.
I don't remember the adjective mild.
and not just jump
I
scares.
got the actual thing right here. I'm looking at it. I will read it real quick for you
Okay,
guys.
all right.
Here's Josh. Guys, how scary would you say Until Dawn is? It's on sale, and I'm interested to play it through with Cecilia, but she's not big on the scary stuff. Here's my first response. It's definitely got some scare to it. Here's Chad. I played through it, and I did okay. And you know how much I love the scary games. And then I said, jump scares and gore. And then Josh goes, okay, so she has a hard time with Prison Break because it's so intense. Walking Dead. Could she still handle Until Dawn? Then Chad says, it's like teenage horror. There is some gross, like stabbing and death stuff. I don't know.
that stuff.
And then Josh goes, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, okay. So reading that conversation, you would think it would be like, people with sheets over their heads and like, yeah, boo,
Grr.
yeah. It's not. This was not
It's been
a
a while
walk in the
since I played
park.
it, so-
This game, I like the horror.
This is what the problem was, Josh, is because I was using jump scares and gore because you don't know what it is until you're halfway into it, and then that's when it gets really gory. So without without spoiling it, it's hard to say. Because I was going to say, well, yeah, there's one part where like a guy gets cut in half, literally.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you can't tell that story.
It was like playing this game is like watching a Saw movie at times. Like
Teenagery, like I said.
it was intense.
Teenage,
like
like I said.
Like I know we did last summer, where they're getting gutted and put up on fish hooks.
Right.
Not to give too much away, but there was a point where one of the characters cut his own fingers off to get his hand out of a bear trap.
I had to do that too. You don't even have to take the bear trap. That's what I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, I know. You didn't even have to grab it, and I was dumb enough to like go over there and grab the thing. Anyway, really, really good game, but pretty intense. more intense than I feel I was led to believe.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And then so at some point, like I would be over here and I'd be playing it, and Cecilia, like she was like, I'm not gonna look at the TV. I'm not even gonna look at it. I'm just gonna watch your face to see what your reaction is to what like is happening. And so I don't know what my face looked like, but there was a few times when I didn't even want to keep playing at points because I'm like, I know something's gonna happen and it's gonna be horrible. And then a thing would happen, and she's like, "Yep, that's why I'm not watching it." And she'd like hear sounds, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't."
See, the worst part is when you're in those caves and those windows are like, it's like that's the part where you're like, "Oh my gosh." Those without
dude, and there's like
played it, but
I don't want to spoil too much of it, but I will say there's some subtext to this game that is really disturbing. If you really if you find bits and pieces of the story and you start piecing things together, there is some stuff like peripheral, I guess, stuff to the story that's pretty disturbing. And I liked it. I really liked it, but it's pretty intense. So just a word to anybody who hasn't played that game yet and may still want to, just know what you're getting yourself into, because it was pretty
unlike
intense.
Josh.
Yeah.
I'm led to believe.
No, I liked it. I like horror games, but yeah, Cecilia was definitely out pretty quick. So it was really good though. What I was intending to do was have her like sit next to me and then help me make all the decisions.
Yeah.
Which is what we started out doing. And then I just had to go on without her. Actually, I finished it at 3 a.m.
Oh my.
This morning. Because like I knew I was near the end, and it really had me. I was like, I need to know what's happening. Yeah. Like
it's
I need to know the
story.
Ending. So
it
is a really good story, and I'm excited to see with the whole butterfly effect thing. I'm excited to see like which points in the story get changed with different choices here and there. So yeah, I'm going back through all the chapters, and I'm gonna like make different choices. I'm gonna see if I can save everybody.
Cool. Just talking about this game again makes me really excited for Detroit Become Human.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. That looks great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do that one.
Cool. So let's see. Rocket League Until Dawn, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. I think that's all I played this week. Yeah, that's all I played this week.
All right. How about you, Dave?
Cool. I played a few games. Battlefield 1, first and foremost, because that game is awesome.
Game's real good.
Played some with Chad, and I saw, Chad, you got those trophies for leveling everything up to in multiplayer.
Yep, got everything to rank 1.
Which is not an easy task. That's a good portion of playing, unless you're just ridiculously good. Which Chad's
19
good,
hours. 19
yeah.
hours.
What was that one game you sent me? Like 30. You were like 35, and
I don't even remember. It was a good. I was playing Scout, and I did real good. Real good.
It's fun. It's real fun. Also, I've been one of our listeners, Jordan Steele, of the Steele Brothers. He's been playing this game every once in a while. I see him up on there playing the Steam World Heists. I never did play Steam World. I believe it's called Dig, which I kicked myself because I went and bought this game and then found out that there was a bundle coming out with both of them.
Stink.
But anyways, it's pretty fun. It's like a turn-based kind of a shooter where it's a 2D platformer, and you have multiple characters that you can use throughout the way. You're all robots, like in this like punk Steam World looking era or whatever. And you're in these ships that have different levels. So basically it's like you're looking at a ship cut right down the middle, and you're looking at the side so you can see the different decks. And you go up ladders and through doors and stuff. And you have your characters, and you move your character so many spaces, and then you can fire, and you like can aim your gun and see kind of where it might, depending on what character you use, you can see where the bullet may follow, and then you try to take out the different enemies that way, and then it's their turn to try to shoot you, and it's, you got to work it that way and strategize and all that stuff. So it's an interesting little game. It was not very expensive. I think it might have been $9.99. I also have been hearing a lot of talk about Dragon Quest Builders, and so I looked it up, and because I love Minecraft, I've been hearing it's like Minecraft for beginners to an extent, like in the tutorial anyways, where Minecraft kind of just throws you in there and you kind of learn as you go, and there's just this huge wide breadth of stuff that you can do. Very complex game in this little packaging of what looks like a kids game. But Dragon Quest Builders, I've never played any of the Dragon Quest games. First of all, this is totally different. It's a lot like Minecraft, where your character goes out and you mine things, you get different minerals, you pick up different things from fallen enemies, you pick up things from plants, you chop down your trees to get your wood, you chop down rocks to get rocks and everything, and you build basically like you do in Minecraft. It reminds me of kind of like, imagine if you were playing one of the Zelda games, like A Link to the Past, and instead of, or maybe with a little bit of Wind Waker. It's not exactly top down, so it's kind of at an angle in 3D and everything. And you just build a base. I downloaded the demo. I was going to say, and the Vita version had a demo I could download. It's it's a $59. It's a regular $60 game for the PlayStation 4, and then for Vita, I think it's a $40 game.
It's not cross-buy.
No, it's not. I out by research, actually that's very few titles are actually that way.
All right.
I happen to have like 2 of them, but it's just the way that they connect and everything, and it's not done. It's the same way with like the Telltale games.
Right.
That's not cross-buy either. So anyways, I played it and I really enjoyed it. I just don't know if I can. I don't know if I might end up buying it on PlayStation 4 just because I like sinking time in that kind of stuff. I like building the bases and everything. I like getting the wood, and I love that kind of stuff. And this kind of takes you through a tutorial of it. The whole demo is like a tutorial of the first stage, I believe, because there are stages. There's a story to it. There's bosses and different things you're trying to beat and progress through the game, stuff like that. But it's a very fun game. If you have a Vita, you can download the demo obviously for free. I do not think there's a demo for PlayStation 4. I did not see one. I am very much interested in it. I just don't know if I want to spend $40 or whatever if I'll play it enough on my Vita, because I'm not to the point yet to where I'm playing my Vita a lot. A lot of the time that I'm traveling, I'm driving. Obviously can't do it. This trip I have my PlayStation 4 with me, so I haven't been doing a whole lot of that. But I did play a little bit on my Vita, enough to The Wolf Among Us and get the platinum.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, man. I sent you guys a couple pictures involving The Wolf Among Us, fan photo made of Hugh Jackman in the movie The Wolf Among Us, which really looked legit and cool. And he's who I think about a lot when I play that game. And man, it's a Telltale game. The engine's clunky. There's a lot of times where it's like, gosh, man, it's worse on Vita, where the load screens take forever, it seems like, and a lot of times it freezes up when you're making a decision, and the audio keeps going, but the picture doesn't. It's like, come on, man. But the stories are still so good, and there's something so satisfying and gratifying when you finally transform, like the full transformation
into the wolf,
into the big bad wolf from Bigby. Because like the first time I played it, I've never read the comics. The first time I played it, I see him, he turns kind of like into a werewolf. He looks like a werewolf. Then later he like turns into a big, like fully walking wolf. But then later in the game, you completely turn into a giant size wolf. And it's just so cool at that point. You're just tearing things apart and everything, and all the different characters. It's like, imagine if you've never played this game before, you'd have to also watch Once Upon a Time. But Once Upon a Time, imagine just being in that world and you're a sheriff and you're one of the characters and you're trying to solve a murder case. And it's such a great game. I mean, it's been out for a long time. If you haven't played it, well, whatever. But I really enjoyed it. So I got the platinum on that, which is a little bit different than games, which is just you play through it and finish it. This one, you have to actually go back and revisit a few of the chapters to make a different decision to unlock the fairy tale book or whatever of all these different characters from, like, these are fairy tales and stuff like that. So I really much enjoyed it. I also played some PlayStation VR before I left on my trip. That platinum in Job Simulator, which is still a really cool game. I can't wait for you to try it, Chad. It's definitely fun. I finished it all except for the chef one, and I did enjoy the chef one. Things that's basically the only, the game is basically just play through it and then go back to each level and do a specific task, and you'll get the platinum. One of the easiest platinums, as we've talked about before. for the PlayStation and the PlayStation VR. So I got that. I also played a little bit in VR of a game I told you guys about, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Now, if you guys haven't heard about this, you listeners, because I know the guys have, this is a game where it's been out for a while on the PC, where someone is at their computer and they're basically looking at a bomb, a 3D bomb that you can spin around, and it's got different panels on it and different things that you have to disarm before you can totally disarm the bomb. But the person that's disarming the bomb has no idea what they're doing. And you have other players who can look at a manual, which is an extensive manual, all these different variations for each different panel, and you gotta the whole game is communication. You keep talking and work through it, and no one will explode. The people that have the manual got to talk the person through that's disarming it on what to do. So if it's like, oh man, what's the bomb got on it? Well, it's got some codes on it. It's got like a couple batteries on it. It's got some wires on it. Okay, how many wires? Well, there's 6 wires. Okay, so you got to go and you got to look through. If it has 6 wires, do this. Well, then you got to find out what color the wires are.
Yeah,
this color, then cut the 3rd wire. And if it's not, then and it's really intense.
Intense, yeah, that's a good word.
And you can't play it by yourself. I mean, you can, but it's not meant to. I played through like the first 3 by myself because they were very simple, but I had to I pulled my VR goggles out and was looking like an old man through the top so I could read because the way it works in VR is the way it works in VR is the person in the headset is in a virtual reality room, kind of like an interrogation room in a police department. Lights are off, really dimmed, except for the one that's on the bomb. And you can spin the bomb around. You can do that's all you can see, and the manual's there, and someone can pick up the other controller, and they can go through the pages and find out what's going on. And so when I found out about this game, I talked to Chad and Josh. I'm talking to you listeners now, and I said we need to do this on the podcast. Now, I think Chad and I are going to play it a couple times at least because I'm going to be at his house later. Maybe we'll or whatever, but I do think we still need to do it in the podcast. I think it would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So yeah, that's what pretty much what I've been playing, except for just a tiny bit of my phone of Adventure Capitalist.
Okay. All right. I played Battlefield, as Dave mentioned. I really, really like that game a lot. Like, we're going to play Call of Duty tonight with some Xbox friends of ours, and I'm excited to do that, but I really want to play Battlefield 2 as well. Battlefield 1 as well. So yeah, that's a great game, a lot of fun. I started going back through the campaign. I got all the collectible books and did all the challenges that you could do. So I think I should be able to platinum this game. I have to go through the campaign again and beat it on hard, but I've got all the extras in there and then a couple multiplayer trophies to get as well. I played the other free game for PlayStation Plus this month, Deadly Tower of Monsters. I played it for, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. It's like a kind of quarter or 3/4 down, top-down view. And you're playing through like an old 60s sci-fi movie. So like there's a narrator, and it's like this guy, it starts off like a VHS tape is what it feels like you're playing. And the narrator is the director of this movie, and he's talking you through He's talking you through the making of the movie, and then you play through it as he does. And it's like campy 60s, 70s horror sci-fi. So like you can see the strings on the rockets. It's like really corny, but it's kind of fun. You're like hitting these monkey men, and he talks about how the guys in the suits, we got these actors, we paid them real cheap, and they didn't do a whole lot, but they served the purpose. And you're like hitting them with this like I don't know what billy club. And then you unlock a ray gun, and he talks about how they figured out the special effects for the ray gun, and there's monsters and pterodactyls that breathe fire. It's real weird. So I don't necessarily think I'll go back and play that, but it was free, and so I tried it out, and yeah, it is what it is. I also played some Skyrim. I'm continuing.
Of course.
I'm continuing my quests there. I played quite a bit. I think I'm level 13 on PlayStation, and I started a character also on Xbox. and I got out of the like execution sequence and started off on the beginning there. So on the PlayStation, I chose the Stormcloaks, and on the Xbox, I chose the Imperials, so that I can kind of get a little bit of variation between the two. And obviously, I have 2 different characters as well. But yeah, so Skyrim's great, a lot of fun. I still enjoy that game a lot. And then Call of Duty Infinite Warfare came out this past Friday, and I was not able to play with the guys on Friday night, but I was able to play a little bit of the campaign yesterday, and Jon Snow, the bad guy that you're going against, and I like it. I started off. I usually play the Call of Duty games in veteran, like just right off the bat. I do the hardest mode, and the very first level, I got my butt kicked. Like I got stuck. There's like this big mech, and you have to shoot him with a specific kind of gun, and he's got one arm that's a minigun and one arm that's a missile launcher. I couldn't beat him, so I lowered it down to normal because I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just killing myself for what? I may go back and try to do it, but I'm just like, I got to get through this. This is ridiculous. But yeah, it feels a lot, and we'll get to this in the news a little bit later. But man, it feels a lot like Mass Effect, like the whole space. Really? Yeah, I mean, it's not. What?
But in a good way, though?
Yeah, in a good way. Like the environment. It's definitely not Mass Effect. It's not third person. You don't have powers and things like that. But just like the environment and the storytelling. Right. Yeah. It feels Mass Effect-y, if I can make that into an adjective. But it's real cool. I mean, a lot of people are poo-pooing the whole story and being so far out there that they've lost their way. But it's an interesting take.
Say that last trailer they put out, that I thought that looked great. Like I was really sold on the story when the one I shared with you guys in a thread.
Yeah,
which I think was it's just basically the story trailer.
Yeah. It's not realistic. I mean, it's not, the Germans versus their Axis and the Allies. It's, you're going to different planets. Like it's a little bit more in depth even than Call of Duty has been. Like you can choose at one point, you get to where you can choose which planet you go to, and there's a success rate percentage depending on what you've done up to that point. So I'm not super far into it, but I could have gone to Neptune, Pluto, or Saturn, and it gave me different percentages of success, and I ended up going to Neptune. And then you just go do that mission. I'm assuming I'll have to go do the other ones as well. But yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was fun. And then tonight I jumped a little bit into the multiplayer for the first time because I kind of wanted to be able to talk about it a little bit. I will say I got my butt kicked. I played Terminal. They have a mode where it's just Terminal over and over, and it's obviously an updated version. You're on the moon, and there's a shuttle instead of an airplane, but it's set up the same way, and it's not hardcore. And I've been handicapped by the way we've played hardcore, where you shoot them and you expect them to die. Man, I think I went
shooting them and then they kill you,
and I just couldn't. I couldn't hit them enough before they got me, and I went 7 and 18. I'm like, screw this mess. So I put it back over to hardcore, and that was much better. But yeah, it's fast paced. I've heard people say it's just like Black Ops 3, and that's a bad thing. It has similarities, but it's not just like it. It feels different. It feels like an Infinity Ward game versus Treyarch game. Just the shooting and the guns feel different. The movement's a little bit different. And I did all right during the regular, hardcore and the regular maps. And then I did play a little bit I played 1 or 2 matches of the Modern Warfare Remastered. And the very first one I played was Crash with the helicopter in the middle. And as I walked around the map, I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember this. Oh, yeah, I remember this.
That's cool.
And there's no double jumping. There's no wall running. It's just like, and it sounds like and feels like Call of Duty used to feel like. And I'm like, okay, this is fun too. So, yeah, it was $80, and yeah, some people are upset that whatever, they just wanted Modern Warfare, but they're both good, and I'm enjoying them. I will play through the campaign on both again, and if we can get a regular game night going for Call of Duty with the guys, I'm there because I'm looking forward to tonight. I think it'll be fun. So that is what I've played this past week.
Very cool.
So that moves us into the news that we can use.
if we so choose.
Yeah, we use different pronouns, and you went right with it.
Yeah,
Good job.
did. I'm on the ball. I should insert here, Chad. You may have a little bit of editing to do.
Okay.
I think my mic was doing that thing where you guys couldn't hear me for a second a while back because I tried to interject a couple times and everybody just ran right over me. And I don't think you guys are rude.
No.
I just think that my mic was not working.
Okay.
But I was gonna say, Dave, The Wolf Among Us is my favorite of all the Telltale games.
Since back
all
then.
the way back there.
Yeah.
That is my favorite, absolute favorite game that they have done so far, and it makes me really sad that we will likely never see any more of those.
I'm like, I mean, it's been out for what, 3-4 years?
Yeah, a long time.
I don't want to spoil it, but I mean, it's basically set up for another game.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was really good.
They could continue the story if they wanted to, and even if they didn't want to do it with Bigby, you could find another character in the plethora of cornucopia or whatever of the fairy tale world.
There's tons of characters in that.
Fables. I love
Bigby. In Fables, so it's really good. Anyway, I wanted to throw that in there because I wanted to say that, but I also wanted you to know, Chad, that you might have to cut a couple things out so it doesn't sound awkward.
Fair enough. Like we just ignore you completely.
Yeah.
If you're just talking.
It's okay, guys. I'll just sit here until somebody says I can talk.
All right. Well, as we get into the news, I will tell you that the news that you can use this week is brought to us by the East Coast Candle Co. You can head on over there, eastcoastcandleco.com, and get yourself a pen-poured soy candle for burning.
That sponsor money is still coming in?
Yeah. Paco has hit this month. We just went through. And
is Paco aware that his sponsorship
I would
is still
assume
going?
so.
I'm just kidding.
He must have switched credit cards. He told me that
you know
credit
how to
card
change
expired.
it. Yeah, you know how to change it. But yeah, we collected
cool. Excellent.
as promised. So eastcoastcandleco.com, get yourself one. That's their slogan.
They have some awesome fall scents that you can take advantage of, like Bonfire, for instance.
That's a good fall scent.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, there are 5 items on the list this week. First one.
Buzzing.
Well done. Kind of funny shout out. So the first one, there is a rumor last week that the Wii U was going to stop production of their Wii U's, or the Nintendo was going to stop production of the Wii U's this past Friday. Did you say good?
I think it might be delayed, but yeah, I said good. And I don't care if Evan doesn't like it.
Oh.
Dang.
Moving on.
Wow. But then the guys from Nintendo came out and said that that's not true. So they said they're still doing them as usual. But maybe they are already finished.
No, in reality.
So they are still producing Wii U's.
I believe the statement that the person from Nintendo, which I'm not sure who it was, said that they can plan on continuing the same production that they have been on the Wii U's.
Huh.
I was kidding, somewhat kidding. I mean, in reality, they don't need to stop doing that until at least their next piece of hardware is launched.
You would think.
But yeah, but they're doing some weird stuff. We're going to talk about that, I guess, in a couple spots down too. So.
Yes, Nintendo.
Whatever.
They are their own thing. So there. If you want to get one, you haven't got one, maybe wait till Black Friday, and you might be able to get one real cheap. Who knows? Next, yesterday was November 7th, also known for those that enjoy the Mass Effect universe and EA and BioWare as N7 Day, where they celebrate everything Mass Effect. And we have talked about the new Mass Effect game they have coming out next year called Andromeda. And I believe last week or the week before, they did an Andromeda Initiative trailer where you could go sign up to be part of it. And basically, you're just signing up for the mailing list, but it sounds real cool the way they do it. Yesterday, N7 Day, they released a brand new trailer, cinematic trailer, and gave us some interesting tidbits about the game. So did you guys both get a chance to look at that trailer?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
Very cool.
I didn't read any of the other stuff other than what you've put.
Sure. Very exciting. We found out it happens 600 years in the future. We don't know from what point that is, though, if it's the end of Mass Effect 3 or whatever it may be. But the trailer it narrates someone traveling for years, it sounds like, to a new location, looking for a new home. He is called the Pathfinder. And you find out one of the things that I picked out from the trailer is that he says, we are the aliens. So wherever you're going as far as humankind goes.
Humankind is not the
dominant species.
Yeah. Definitely not our solar system.
Yeah. And so it shows what I would assume, the protagonist we learned before, there's a brother-sister combo. But then there's also, I would assume, at least one of the antagonists, an alien that has like a halo built into his head.
It never showed his face, correct?
No, correct.
Because it reminds me most of, Garrett. I was going to think of the protagonist from 1, but he's the same race as Garrus, except with a weird thing about it. But I mean, it could be completely different.
Yeah, I would just, who knows?
Also, I was watching it on my phone, and I was in a bad service area, so it wasn't to HD fully. But was there a spot where something was opening in the sky and it looked like there was a Reaper, like tentacles?
There were some tentacles coming out of something, going after you.
Do you think that this would be ability that there's anything from these other, or are we going to see something completely new, or is that just something that I completely misinterpreted of what it was?
I see. When I saw it, I didn't necessarily think Reaper. I would assume that they're going to do a lot of new stuff. They may have some, hints to the past ones,
or they might just be showing that maybe that was foreshadowing something even bigger.
Sure. Yeah,
I gotta say, as someone, I've only like a little bit played, I think the second game. We talked about this.
Yeah.
So I really don't know anything about Mass Effect, but watching this trailer, I'm like super hyped, and I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm assuming like there's these like beats in the trailer where I'm like, anybody that follows this knows who these people are or what's happening. Like, it's obvious these are supposed to be big moments, and I'm like, this looks cool.
Yeah.
But I don't really know anything.
From what I could see, there was nothing new other than the fact that it's still an N7. It's still the same type of military, but there's no characters I recognized. Except the races. I recognize the races, but not the characters.
There's nothing from, other than, like you said, N7 and some of the races, there's nothing from previous trilogy that is the same here. It's all new characters, all new environments. Even the vehicle is different.
Now, is it not? Is this just a generalized 4-player multiplayer, or is it a 4-player co-op?
It's 4-player co-op, and I think there's specific missions that you can play as 4-player multiplayer, which is cool.
Cool.
Yeah, that's new. Yes. And obviously this is an EA game, which EA also produces Battlefield. And if you played Battlefield 1, the destructible environments are pretty good. So they toted that destructible environments will be part of this game as well, which is a big deal. I mean, when you play the multiplayer in Battlefield 1, to be in a building, whether you're hiding or sniping or just kind of trying to regain health, and to have it crash down on you and literally kill you because you're inside of it and then it's no longer there, that's a big deal. That changes a lot when it comes to Mass Effect. Which Mass Effect 3 had a really good and robust multiplayer. People really got into that, and it had a pretty healthy community, so that's exciting to hear. They did say that this is slated for spring of 2017, and we should get our first actual gameplay at the Game Awards, which is Jeff Keighley's thing that happens in December. There's one thing I didn't put down here. They did say the character side missions or loyalty missions are coming back for this game. So if you played Mass Effect 2, you had your crew that you could recruit, and you could do things for them, specific missions for them that would gain their loyalty and their trust in you and have them join your crew. Mass Effect 3, there was nothing like that.
Which also affected the end battle.
Yeah, it affected who lived and who died. It affected how, if you won or not. And from what I'm reading, they're bringing that back to a degree. Mass Effect 2, you had to do those if you wanted to be in your crew. This one, it sounds like you don't have to do loyalty missions. You can even come back after that game is done. Once you finish the main story, you can go back and still do those loyalty missions if you'd like. So not as integral to the story, but they are there if you want. So that's cool, because those are some of the most fun parts of it. And you really got to know some of your crew members and what their past was, and you can kind of empathize with them when making some decisions too. So lots of good stuff today for those Mass Effect fans out there. It's makes me more excited for it. I really like those games quite a bit. So
for those of you who don't know, the music you hear every time you start an episode of the South Dakota Gamer podcast is music from the Mass Effect series.
And credits from Mass Effect 2. So good.
Chad's favorite games.
So good. And then continuing with Mass Effect, the next point, they also announced that the Mass Effect trilogy is now backwards compatible on Xbox One.
I think you saw that coming, right?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for a remastered version, to be honest with you, so I could go
that's
just
right. You were saying that's
play
what
it
you were
all
saying.
again. But Mass Effect 1 was one of the very first games that was backwards compatible with when they announced that. You can now get the second and third one also backwards compatible. And those games are relatively cheap nowadays, too. So if you haven't played those and you have an Xbox One, I highly recommend doing so. All right. Next, number 4. Did you say something?
I said sweet.
Oh, sweet. See, yeah, I think there is a delay. Hotel.
Yeah, there is.
So we talked about Nintendo and how Nintendo's weird with some things. Here's something that I think they're real weird at. I'm real excited. I didn't know why I didn't put this on the new releases for this week. But this Friday, the mini NES or NES Classic is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we can pre-order Mass Effect Andromeda now. Like, the minute they show the trailer, like, hey, you want to pre-order this game? Give us $60. You can pre-order it. You can't pre-order the mini NES even still. Like, it's not on Amazon, not a GameStop, nowhere can you pre-order this. It's going to be $60, have 30 games on it. I know all of us are excited and probably want to have one of these. And I am legitimately concerned that we will not be able to find one.
Oh, well, I was traveling when I was reading the outline, so I did some research because I was just sitting in the car. Because I was thinking the same thing, because I'm definitely very interested in doing this. But from what I've read, I don't know anything about this, but have a history of either producing or just underestimating demand.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of people that complain about like the stock in just regular game stores of specific Nintendo stuff being low compared to Microsoft or Sony. It was like, I guess, Majora's Mask for the 3DS XL, like a special edition version, sold out in minutes apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Which brand new game. It was like a re-release for a different thing. A Wii U Super Smash Brothers bundles did the same thing, or Super Smash Bros, I guess. Bundle did the same thing. So I mean, it wouldn't shock me, I guess, if it wasn't made widely available. But I also, at the same time, I guess I'm kind of up in the air because I still think. Well, let me read you this. I was gonna talk about something else, but I actually stole this little quote from usgamer.net. And this is just an excerpt of what they said. They said Nintendo stated that they are not pre-selling it, but it will most certainly be available at a much wider array of retailers than its standard consoles because it's self-contained, compact, and convenient. It can go up for sale almost anywhere. So they're saying, obviously go to store for games like Best Buy, GameStop, or whatever, but don't write off going to like other, like they even said, I didn't write that down, but they named some, places like Toys R Us, places like toy stores, places, comic book stores even, or music stores like Fi Music or FYE or whatever music. It's very possible that they might have something like this where they don't necessarily sell like maybe a PlayStation 4, PlayStation VR, Xbox One, but they might have basically just a plug and play device.
Right.
It's nothing, and it's only $60 too. So, but at the same time, like we said about Nintendo, and they're weird, and I'm sure Josh has plenty to say about it too. Wouldn't surprise me if it's not available. But this is something that has been basically a hot button thing, or trending would be the better word this day and age. Since they announced it, everybody wants one of these things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially gamers like our age, whatever you want to call hardcore gamers or whatever, for the nostalgia and to play these old games again. But a lot of these people that, yes, but they're not really even gamers. Like even people like that are interested in this.
Right.
It's like that. It's come out at the right time, I think. And I was gonna say they'd be insane to miss it, but they've done weird stuff before. This is like a common thread that we keep saying about Nintendo.
I was gonna say, yeah, they do have a history of underproducing. Whether it's because they just do that or they underestimate demand. In this case, I don't think they're underestimating demand. I think it's for two reasons. Number one, if they underproduce, in this case, if they underproduce, it doesn't hurt them in the slightest because people are scrambling to get this, will be scrambling to get this.
Mm-hmm.
And if they underproduce and sell out, those same people will still be scrambling to get it when the next batch or whatever comes out. So I think underproducing in this case, not allowing pre-orders, is a way for them to protect themselves from a potential flop, just in case, in the unlikely event that this doesn't sell well, that people aren't impressed, that it doesn't review well, that people don't like it, that the nostalgia wasn't quite as strong as they were hoping for. So if they underproduce and barely sell all of those units or don't quite sell all of those units, nothing lost, they're protected. And if it does sell out in a matter of days or hours or whatever, weeks, then they can always make more. There's really no downside for them.
This is a $60 buy for $60 buy for us, so it can't take them.
Yeah,
they can pop these things out quick, I'm assuming.
So I think
they're cheap.
I think it could be them just kind of like hedging a little bit just to see if it's going to sell, because there's no downside. But I have a feeling that there's a little bit of marketing play here too, in that they're trying to create scarcity and get the buzz going that much more, because there will be, when this comes out and then sells out, which I think it will, there will be haves and have-nots, and then people are going to be turning to review sites and the internet to see what people are saying about it, and then people are going to be talking about it and wondering, when is the next shipment coming? When are they making more? When can I get one? And there's going to be, like, it will be released, so people will have their hands, some people will have their hands on it, but then it's going to create a whole new conversation of, oh my gosh, my friend has it, it's the coolest thing, or I was reading about it on the site, it looks awesome, they were really impressed. So it's like a little extra, it's like a it's like a marketing double jump. Like the jump is releasing the console, and then the double jump is them having a bunch of people talking about it all over again, because they released and not everybody's got it. So a bunch of people are still talking about it because a lot of people are trying to get it still. So I have a feeling it's probably both of those to some extent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go look for it, and if I can get one, I probably will right away. From what I'm hearing, people, they have been able to review it and talk about it. The only biggest drawback I'm hearing is the controller cables are 3 feet long is all.
Yeah, I heard that.
How long? It depends on how long your HDMI cord is then, I guess, right?
Which I'm assuming the one they give you is probably not much longer than 3 feet, if they give you one. I don't even know if there's one included in the box, to be honest with you. I would assume so, but I don't know.
So you think they're going to want to make their money on buying peripherals for this little tiny? Because they did say you can buy the controller separate too.
Yeah, you can buy a second controller for $10. Which
so do they have one with longer cords? Because
I think there's adapters you can buy. I
was going to say, what if you've already got the original? That you should be able to use those,
plug.
Right?
Nope.
There's no adapter.
That's what I was going to say.
It's a Wiimote plug. It's not the same plug that you would use on the original NES. It's a different connector.
I have to imagine they'll sell an adapter of some sort.
I
I don't
think
know.
so.
You know what? I don't know if you could adapt that though.
It's
I
so
have
it's
an
so
NES sitting right
analog.
here, and that's so old. I don't know if you could adopt that.
No,
Or
I
adapt
know
that.
I know there are extenders, like cable extenders, but I don't know how much those cost or whatever. But
Well, you can't just go to Walmart and buy it because it's got to fit the Wii.
right, it's a
Whatever
Wiimote port. So I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know. 3 feet throws short. I mean, unless, like you said, the HDMI for me, there's no way I could put it in my entertainment center. I'd literally
My
have
phone
to sit on the
charger
floor.
cord is
Yeah.
longer than that.
Right. So you're either going to need a real long HDMI cable that you can pull it out and put it like on the footstool or the coffee table, so you can sit on your couch. But then you got a cable coming from your TV
You know,
in front of the TV.
you know what they're doing? They're going all the way with the nostalgia factor, and they're trying to recreate
Make you
those
sit on the
days
floor.
of you sitting Indian style on the floor with your friends
But
playing your
even
games.
a 6-foot controller still, I would have to do
Yeah.
that. So I mean, everything
it-
now is wireless.
Is it offensive to say Indian style?
I don't know.
Are we
still
allowed to
say
say Indian
Indian,
style? Is it? Should we say crisscross applesauce?
That offends me
Ask.
because I don't know what that means. So I'm
I was
offended.
gonna say because you
Well, people
revere
still
apples
say-
very highly.
Right.
People still say Indian giver. People still say cotton picker. People still
Yeah, but I have a
Um,
feeling a lot of people take offense to both of those terms.
They want
I would think so.
they want to change the name of the Redskins. So
Yeah, and the Cleveland Indians.
Right.
They want to completely eliminate the logo. They've already done it for the most part because they're using just the
C.
C now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you people.
So
Josh.
I will say crisscross applesauce.
No, you
instead.
will not say that. I will bleep that out to make it sound like you cursed on the podcast.
I'm not racist.
Josh, always bringing up the controversial racist stuff.
Man, it just crossed my mind.
I bet it just crisscrossed your mind. All right, so if you get your hands on one of those, I imagine we'll talk about this next week, see how easy it was for us to get them. Listeners, if you get your hands on one easily or
Give it
not,
to us.
Well,
Yes,
yeah, because if
that
I
was
can,
gonna
I'm
be
getting
mine.
one before the end of this trip. There's a DVD player that falls down in the van.
oh, that
and
would be
and
perfect.
That's awesome.
It's got the hookups in the side, so if I can get one, that's what I'm
We
going to
should-
do. Just sit in there and just play it.
Well, you're here
That's cool.
Friday night, Saturday. If you didn't get one Friday on your travels because you're driving, we'll head over Saturday morning to see if we can find one.
Oh yeah, we're going to be there. That's what we need to do. Yeah,
Yeah,
we need
yeah.
to find one of those. Although
I'll
we're going
talk
to be in a remote area, but
Yeah, I'll talk to Chris over at GameStop and see if he can
Yeah.
hold this one or two. All right, finally, last point on the news is some Overwatch news. That is that hero shooter game from Blizzard. They had BlizzCon this last week where they talked about all their Blizzard games, Overwatch being one of them. Kind of already knew this, but Sombra is the new character. She's a tech character, has basically an SMG gun that she runs around with, where you can EMP characters. You can do a lot of cool things with her tech powers. So they announced her. They also announced a new arcade mode, which replaces the weekly brawls. They also have some new maps, Echo Point and Oasis, and they're continuing to add to this Overwatch game. Real good. We played a lot of it with the Steel Bros. I'm kind of fallen out of it myself with all the other things that have come out lately, but I still have really enjoyed Overwatch, and they keep giving you cool stuff. So they had a Halloween event where they had cool skins, and now they're adding some new modes and things like that too. So Overwatch still real good.
yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for the news this week, and that's going to bring us into our final segment of the day, and that is Game Scoops. 20 questions.
Scoop.
Scoop indeed. Dave
Yeah.
has the game for us this week.
Oh, I do.
Oh, he does.
I do.
Oh, good. That means Josh and I will now attempt to guess said game. You may begin, Josh, if you would like.
David Jackson Mann.
Nailed
False.
it.
Does this game? You know what? Let me walk
Yep.
that back.
No, we're off to a rip-roaring start. I have a good feeling about this. Got Dave's name out.
Okay. In this game, do you ever
This is the one question I'm worried about being able to answer.
Okay, I got it.
Did that sound like
In
a
this
fake
game.
laugh to you? Josh just laughed just now. It's like totally fake.
It wasn't fake. Okay, in this game, I'm assuming.
What's
No,
happening?
you know what? I'm not going to
What's
assume
happening?
anything. I was going to make an assumption. In this game, does your character ever make like grunting noises?
What?
Like
Oh my
like
God.
What in the
Sound.
world? Where do you get these
Seriously, like this is the one question. Like I
grunting
knew it was
noises?
going to be some bizarre thing. I can't remember.
I was going to say I'm assuming you attack people. So like when you attack people, you go ah, but I won't even assume that you attack people. Maybe you get hit by something and you go ah.
I could watch a YouTube video. It's been I can't remember.
Okay, I will redact that question. And
Okay.
I will say, was this game
I should have given you some
released?
hints.
Was this game released prior to January 1st, 2000?
Yes.
Oh man. Okay. Was this game released prior to January 1st, 1990?
Yes.
Oh, dang.
No wonder he can't remember.
All right. All right. Do you play as a human?
Yes.
Do you shoot projectiles?
No.
Do you punch people?
No.
Did he have to think about that, or is that a delay?
I think he was thinking.
Huh. Now he's like hiding his face with his fingers. Do you have to punch people?
I'm letting you know how many questions. You
Okay,
asked.
yeah. 5. Is this a specific? Is this a Nintendo exclusive game?
Let me double check. But at the time of its release, yes. Think it's
So the game that you have chosen
yes.
is a Nintendo exclusive. You're
Yes.
saying at the time of its release, so maybe it has been re-released and is on other platforms now as well.
I will verify that for you. I think that is the case, though.
So it's a Nintendo game in the 80s,
Yeah.
at least.
Sorry, I will be back with you in a second. My foot itches. And we're back.
Okay.
Okay.
Tough acting connected.
Yes.
It is a Nintendo exclusive.
Yeah. I just
All
want to
right.
make sure there wasn't some weird way I needed to answer that.
You do not shoot projectiles.
Nor punch.
You do not punch people. You do play as a human, though.
Mhm.
Is this a side scroller, Dave?
Yes.
Is this part of a franchise? I didn't hear the answer to that one.
Yes.
I didn't-
Sorry.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Side scroller. No punching and no projectiles. Part of a franchise. And he plays a human.
Well, he did. To be fair, just in case you guys aren't confusing yourself, he did say, "Do you shoot projectiles?"
Okay. Versus throwing them like a fireball, maybe?
Is the human character you play as Is it a male?
Yes.
Is this a platformer?
Yes. That's 10.
Is it Mario, Josh?
Does this game feature a non-human villain?
Oh, wow.
No.
Not Mario. Do you jump on things' heads to kill them?
No.
Okay. That was probably a dumb question.
So you possibly throw projectiles. Do you swing a sword?
No.
It's not a ninja game.
Does this franchise still exist today in current gen?
I was going to say yes, but then you said, let me check.
So maybe last gen.
Because I don't think that there's something in current gen. Let me see. The last one that I see. I don't believe so. Possibly. Well, no, I don't know. I would say not current gen.
All right. So it's a male.
Well,
It's a male protagonist that
well, you already know it's Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
throws
So
projectiles.
let me say that if it, I mean, I'll throw you guys out a freebie that if there is a current gen, it would be like it's a 3DS version or something.
Okay. So it's not
Not-
on the
and
Wii U.
Without looking, I can't. Yeah, and if it was on the Wii U, it would be like a virtual console thing. It wouldn't be
New
a
version.
current gen
of it.
release.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Not Mega Man.
Yeah.
Crap, that was 13. As far as I remember. Put my fingers down, I completely forgot.
I think it's 14.
Right now, right?
No.
No, I'm the
Oh.
I'm the odd numbers.
So you're asking 15 then.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Why wouldn't it be Mega Man?
Well, because he shoots for sure, and
You don't shoot
his
projectiles.
villains are robots.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, there's Dr. Wily, but
Yeah, they're shooting projectiles, so you're right.
and because it's a human, it's not like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't swing a sword, it's not Zelda or like some ninja game.
Mm-hmm.
Mega Man's technically a robot too.
Well, that's true. Possibly a Castlevania game.
Yeah. Yeah. Possibly.
Do you in the first one, Chad? Is it a whip? Is that
Yeah.
your main weapon?
Yep.
Do you have a whip in this game, Dave?
Whip.
Whip in this game.
A whip. Whip.
Whip.
Is it a would one describe this whip as maybe being cool?
Is this question 16?
No, he's asking me. He's
Oh.
asking me. I love a cool whip. Don't get me wrong.
It's Cool Whip.
Cool whip. Is okay? So you asked is it a non-human villain, and that was no. Are you fighting Dracula in the first one?
I'm going to be really honest and say I don't remember a ton about Castlevania.
Yeah. Okay, this is maybe real dumb, but maybe clever. Is there a whole genre? I don't know, like a Metroidvania genre that has been made up today based on this game.
No, wait a second.
It's
What are you asking me?
I shouldn't ask that question. That's a real dumb way to ask it.
I don't know what you're asking though.
You know how today there's a genre that has been made up called Metroidvania to talk about the way the Metroid and Castlevania were made. But that's real dumb.
Okay. So you're saying okay?
Is it? I'll just scratch that question. Are there castles in this game?
Yes. There's castles in this game.
I think it's Castlevania, Josh. I think you got it. Now we
This game.
right. Now we just
Does
have to figure out.
Does it rhyme with Transylvania? No.
So
is this the first game in the series, Dave?
Yes, it is.
So is that just called Castlevania?
I think
I
so.
think so. I think so too. Should we go for it? Question 18.
Let's do it.
question.
Dave, is this game Castlevania?
It is Castlevania.
Good job, Josh.
Originally released in 1986 on the Famicom, and then ported to NES in 1987.
Nice.
Game genre is action platformer, obviously developed by Konami and published by Konami. Part of a series, not a sequel. These are all things I wrote down just in case. Character wears boots and no gloves.
I almost
That
asked,
was a just in case question. That's great.
I almost asked the
Yes.
gloves question. Who is the what's the villain?
Isn't it Dracula?
Oh, Dracula. But I answered the question when you said that. I said no, because Dracula is still technically a vampire. Is still technically a human that has been.
Sure.
Yeah, I
You
suppose.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't know how. What was I? It's not an alien. It's not
Yeah.
It's not a
Like the
demon per
undead.
se. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a.
No,
It's like
that's
how do you?
fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
You use a whip as your main weapon. You can also it's I put down just in case random questions are asked. There's a health bar. You use magic. I put no gun / shooting because I made sure to look to see if there are projectiles, because the other optional weapons are a dagger,
Mm-hmm.
a cross, and holy water,
And he
and a
did. Yeah.
stopwatch for some reason.
Oh, do you stop time?
Stopwatch did.
It's been a long time since I played that game.
I picked this game because of the NES Classic coming out this week, and that's one of the games on there. And it was a game that I figured that you guys would eventually get.
Yeah.
Too obvious, like a Zelda or Mario
Right. Well, that's good.
or
Very
Metroid.
nice.
I'm actually looking forward to playing it because I didn't play much Castlevania at all.
It's
I didn't
hard.
either.
It's real. The first and second one are on the classic, and it's a
Yeah,
tough
the
game.
second
Metroid is very hard too.
The second one is, I guess, dibbed as the best one,
Okay.
with the exception maybe of. I'm sorry, no. The second one was dibbed the best one on the NES. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure the fan favorite is the Symphony of the Night, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's the one I've heard being praised.
Cool.
Either that or another one, but I'm looking forward to playing it.
Yeah, let's hope we can get our hands on one.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, man, yeah.
All right.
Famicom. I also thought it was weird how the family computer disc, whatever, and they nicknamed it the Famicom. And I was listening to GameScoop today, and they were like, people were like complaining, why are they calling it Joy-Con controller? Because that's the name that's why they name it. I mean, joystick and controller.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Family
'Cause they're
computer.
weird and they do whatever they want.
Famicom. It's
Right.
like the way of abbreviating their stuff over there for some reason.
Yeah. Cool.
Good job, guys.
Good game. Good job, Josh. You got it. That's gonna do it. We hit it. We got to the end of the podcast. It was a little shorter this week, and that's fine. Yeah. Here we are. We're at the end.
I just want to say to all the other people that may be hiding out in bunkers right now, We hope you're okay. Don't panic. Everything will be fine. And you can drink your own urine if it comes to it.
Gosh. Yeah, and just so you know, if you see signs pointing to terminus, don't go. Don't go.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just play some video games. That I hear that fixes everything and makes everything all right.
Yeah.
So go ahead and go back and listen to our podcast. Maybe if you need something to do, there's a lot of them there. Almost 100 of them.
Yep.
You can go back and listen to anyone you want. See how bad we were and how much better we are now at this.
We are better now.
We are so better.
Definitely
Yeah.
now. Most definitely. Most impressive.
Okay, that's going to do it.
We just don't know how to end it because it's so short, so we just sit here for another 30 minutes.
Just to stretch
Just
it out.
feels right.
All right, we're going to leave. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Piece of pizza.